Was live streamed on Twitter, which Musk now owns. Musk drove one of the three Tesla semis in front of a crowd inside the factory. One was white, one was painted with a Pepsi logo, the other with a Frito-Lay colors. Musk says the truck has a range per charge of 500 miles when pulling an 82,000-pound load. John Scott reporting.
A joint venture between General Motors and South Korean battery company LG Energy Solutions says it will invest an additional $275 million to expand a Tennessee battery cell factory for electric vehicles. They've already pledged to spend $2.3 billion to build a battery plant in Spring Hill, Tennessee. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters reporting.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
Hi, this is Jennifer Coolidge. The American Heart Association says the disco song Stayin' Alive is the near-perfect beat for hands-only CPR. If you see a teen or adult collapse from cardiac arrest, you only need 2 steps to help save a life. Call 911 and push hard and fast in the center of the chest to the beat of the song Stayin' Alive. Disco is back and it's saving lives. To learn more, go to heart.org/hands-only-CPR.
Nationally supported by the WellPoint Foundation.
Please press button now. No, that number's bigger than the one I said.
This is the Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the High School Scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome in to the High School Football Scoreboard across the state on the Sports Talk Media Network, and we have hit the end of the road. Final show of the 2022 season because we've just run out of football games. If we had more football games in the weeks to come, we'd do more shows, but the football games are ending. We've had 3 state championships decided over the last 2 nights. We'll do 2 more tomorrow, and as we go on the air, we have the conclusion of the 1A championship game. It goes to Christ Church out of Greenville. Cavaliers beat the Flashes of Johnsonville. Are they still the Golden Flashes? The Golden Flashes of Johnsonville? 43-20, the final score. This game just ended. Christ Church with an excellent balanced offense with their quarterback, Woods Wyndham, completing 13 of 19 for 260 yards and 3 touchdowns with a long of 72. And then in the running game department, Deshaun Reeder, he rushed for 152 yards on 15 carries. He averaged 10 yards per carry. On the other side, Johnsonville run heavy. They had a great performance from Daquan Burrows, 27 carries, 187 yards. He averaged 6.2 yards per carry. He scored 3 touchdowns. They were limited in the passing game, only 6 of 17 with 2 interceptions. 43-20 final score in this one, and it was 7-7 into the second quarter, and then the Cavaliers scored 20 unanswered to go up 27-7, and it was on from there for Christ Church. So another championship for Christ Church. I think that's number 5 for them over the years. We'll ask David Shelton that in just a moment. They finished 14-1. They spoil the perfect season for Johnsonville at 13-1. So Christ Church over Johnsonville, 1A championship, final score of 43-20. Earlier today, we had the 2A championship game. Abbeville defeated Oceanside Collegiate 35-20 here at Benedict College, of course, Johnson Stadium. And Abbeville unleashed their very strong running attack, 283 yards for the Panthers today on 47 rushes. That's an average of 6 yards per carry. And they were led by, well, really it was balanced. They had 6 different ball carriers gain at least 27 yards, led by Jamal Marshall with 81 yards rushing. For Oceanside, it was the passing of Edward Riedenbach, 22 of 37 for 322, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Von Blue did rush for 69 yards, but Abbeville back on top. That's 12 state championships for the Panthers. That ties them with Somerville for number 2 all time in the state of South Carolina. And that's number 8 for their outstanding coach, Jamie Nichols. And they just went back to their bread and butter, which is power football, running the football. And they got that victory 35-20. Last night we had the 3A championship. And you talk about running the football, 41-31, Beaufort beat Powdersville. And I'm sure this was conversation all across the country when word got out. Somewhere Chuck Reedy opened up a bottle of champagne and poured it on himself because they don't call him Ground Chuck for nothing. He once had a game at Baylor when he was the head coach there where allegedly they never passed the ball, but he swears they threw it one time. But Beaufort did not throw a pass. I don't even think they attempted a pass. They didn't even attempt a pass last night, and they beat Powdersville. And why would you? Casey Fields, 37 carries, 219 yards, 3 touchdowns. Colton Fairs, 28 carries, 198 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Fields also had a 93-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Powdersville had its own outstanding running back, Thomas Williams, 236 yards on 20 carries and 3 touchdowns. So 3 games are in the books. Congratulations to the champions, Beaufort in 3A, Abbeville in 2A, Christchurch in 1A. Tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, we'll have the 5A championship game, Dutch Fork and Fort Dorchester. And then to cap it off, should be a fantastic game tomorrow night for the 4A championship, Northwestern against South Florence. Now, coming up on the show, we're going to hear from all the coaches that have won here over the last couple of days. Both, we're going to play you their immediate reactions, and then 2 of them we've lined up for calls at 10:30 and 10:45. We'll have Coach Lybrand from Beaufort, Coach Nichols from Abbeville to talk more with them about winning a state championship. At 11:05, Shell Dula, South Carolina Athletic Coaches Association, will join us, and we'll talk more about Mr. Football in South Carolina to be announced 1 week from tomorrow at halftime of the Touchstone Energy Bowl North-South All-Star Football game in Myrtle Beach. Got 7 finalists for the award, and we'll talk with him about them and where the process is and how things are going to be handled a week from Saturday. And then and then Scott Early, head coach at West Side and the director of the Touchstone Energy Bowl All-Star Game. He'll join us about 11:20 or so. We're really pushing these guys on their bedtimes, I can tell you. But he'll join us around 11:20, and we'll talk about next week and all the things that are going to be going on around the North-South All-Star Game next week. And then amongst all of that, joining me up here in a little bit, Chris Deering from the Prep Red Zone. He's actually down on the field right now helping to get our stuff from the game that just completed. He'll join us. And Lou Bajak from the state, he'll also join us, time permitting, around his work schedule. And along with David Shelton, I'm just going to sit back and let those 3 do a high school football roundtable and listen and learn. With that said, let's welcome in David Shelton from the High School Sports Report, the Charleston Post and Courier. We know him as Bib, Best in Business. And he joins us now. He was here earlier today. He's gone back to his home in the Charleston area. David, welcome in, sir. Good to have you with us.
Man, I tell you, you're going to put me on the air with Lou Bajak and Chris Deering. I don't know if I'm going to be the Bib anymore.
Your title will definitely be challenged. You gotta be the best of your game now, top of your game.
Yeah, I don't. I'm so intimidated by those 2 guys. I mean, today I was in the same press box with him, and I almost asked for Chris Deering's autograph, but I didn't.
Ooh. Well, one thing is they are both much older than you are, so the experience factor will be to their.
Advantage. Chris and I are Berkeley High graduates, so we got a little bit of stag blood in us.
There you go.
And Lou's from up north, so he doesn't count.
He is kind of a Yankee, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the games, beginning with the one that just ended, David, and that was Christchurch taking down Johnsonville and looking sort of like the Christchurch team of years past under Don Frost when they were winning all those games. Like what they win? Something like 50-something in a row. They win it 43-20 with a very balanced offense, throwing the ball and running the football.
Yeah, this team's been really good all year. This is not a surprise. They've been able to balance their offense all year long with Wyndham and Reeder, throwing the ball, running the ball. They've been really good on defense. I picked them to win this game. They just were. I mean, I didn't see the game, but I thought they were the better team overall going in, and I thought Johnsonville would be able to run the football a little bit, but I was a little worried that if they fell behind, they wouldn't be able to come back. And that's kind of what happened. That big second quarter kind of put the game out of reach for them because they can throw the ball a little bit, but they don't have that type of offense that can come from that deficit.
Yeah, what do you like about the Wyndham kid, the quarterback there? He had some really good numbers tonight. As I mentioned in the opening of the show, he was, I'll tell you in just a second, he was 13 of 19 for 260 and 3 touchdowns, had a long of 72.
Yeah, I mean, I don't honestly don't know that much about him because I didn't see the game tonight, but I know that he's been all season long. He's been very consistent. Coach Hatfield has always thought he was a really good player, really good leader, can manage that offense. But the offense centered around Deshaun Reeder, and with that, when you have that kind of running game, it makes the quarterback play a lot easier. And unless, of course, you're Clemson, then the running game doesn't help the quarterback. But for Christ Church, it certainly helped Wyndham.
Had to get you dig in there, didn't you?
Well, it's just I'm still bitter about it. I'm still very bitter, Phil.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? A win tomorrow night will heal all wounds. What about Reeder? What do you like about him as a running back from what you've seen of him?
Well, he's compact and he's got jets. I mean, he can run. I saw a couple highlights on Twitter where it looks like he reads the hole very well and can kick it outside, has the speed to outrun defenders. And I don't know I can't remember what his rushing yardage was because I've looked at so many numbers this week, but he had a huge year. I mean, he's probably the Class A player of the year overall because he just had a really huge year for them. And Christchurch, you mentioned this is their 5th state title, and they benefited by moving back down to Class A because when they were in 2A, obviously you had to deal with Gray Collegiate and Abbeville. But they're back where they want to be, and that's on top of the hill in Class A, and they'll be good for years to come. I think Quinn Hatfield is a really good football coach, and it took them a little while to kind of build it back, but I think they're going to be a mainstay as long as they stay in Class A.
What about the job Coach Cribb did with Johnsonville this year, getting them back to the state championship game? It's been a while. We can remember back, going back several years when Johnsonville was a regular participant in state championship games, and it's good to see them back from the PD and making an appearance in Columbia.
Yeah, Cribb really has done a nice job. He took over for Louis Lineberger, the program. Louis had him in the championship game 5 or 6, 7 years ago. And then it kind of slipped a little bit, and then COVID hit, and Cribb took over right before the COVID, and they kind of got a little better. Last year they got a little better. They returned a really good group this year. This was a lot of third-year starters, including the quarterback, the running back Burrows, the wide receiver Coles, some of their linemen. So this was something they'd been building, and they went through a tough regular season. They won some games at the very end, and they got through the playoffs. I thought they beat a very good cross team in the lower state finals, and but it was just too much for them to overcome tonight. When it was 7-7, when it was close, 14-7, you felt like they could stay with what they do and still have a shot. But man, when it busted out by a couple of touchdowns, it just kind of took them out of their opportunity to win.
Okay, David Shelton with us. Let's go to our first break. When we come back, we'll get David's thoughts on the other 2 championships that have been determined here over the last 2 nights. And then we'll hear from a couple of the championship coaches, start hearing from them. And then still to come, Scott Early and Shell Dula. And then more folks from here at Benedict College, as we've been here since last night covering these high school football games. And we'll be back after this break on the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union.
Score a touchdown with Founders Federal Credit Union. With services like Founders Online and the Founders app, you'll enjoy all the perks of a big bank with local personalized service. Not a member? Joining Founders Federal Credit Union is easy. Visit relaxjoinfounders.com or one of our 37 convenient locations to see if you qualify for membership. Relax with Founders. Terms and conditions apply. Founders Federal Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, I'm State Treasurer Curtis Loftus, and I've got a great gift idea that requires zero shopping, the gift of college savings. Future Scholar, South Carolina's 529 college savings plan makes it easy. Grandparents, friends, and family can all contribute to a Future Scholar account and know that they're providing a gift that will last a lifetime. If you're looking for the perfect gift this holiday season, look no further. Learn more about the smart, easy way to save and give this holiday season at futurescholar.com.
When your day calls for some winning, why not watch your favorite football team at Dave & Buster's? We've got massive HD TVs and hundreds of the hottest new games. Sip from our chef-crafted cocktail menu with exclusive drinks such as the Strawberry Watermelon Margarita or Dangerous Waters. Cheer on the team with Cantina Nachos or wings featuring one of our 12 wing flavors. When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can watch the games and play the games. Locations in Greenville, Columbia, and Myrtle Beach.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love. And you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
Life insurance isn't for you. It's for those you love the most. For a complete insurance review, call Buddy Bridges in Lawrence County at 864-923-2174, serving Lawrence, Clinton, and the shores of Lake Greenwood.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at sccattle.org. Beef, it's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff program.
We are High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Earlier today, Abbeville won the 2A state championship here in Columbia, over here at Benedict College. 35-20 winner over Oceanside Collegiate. Here is what Abbeville coach Nichols had to say as we gathered around him after the ball game, had a chance to get with him and hear what he had to say, his reaction to this victory. And Jamie Nichols, head coach from Abbeville. Here are some of his comments.
It's an emotional one for you. I mean, this is a team that a lot of times people didn't think you were going to be able to beat Big Bad Oceanside Collegiate, but your guys always believed it.
They really did. Just so proud of our coaches, players, community. I mean, my goodness, can't nobody be in Abbeville right now. Everybody's down here. But this is emotional for me just because, you know, these kids, they believed in us back in August when we were losing games, and that's not easy to deal with. But they kept believing in what we were doing, and our coaches. They do such a great job of coaching. They really do.
This is 8 for you. How is this one different than the previous 7?
Not a bit. Just a matter of just enjoy it. When I start counting all those things, that'll be time for me to get out. Right now, I'm just about enjoying what this group of kids did each and every day.
Describe what that Gatorade bath feels like.
Well, I was waiting for them to take time out, so it really kind of shocked me because Coach Cade was about to have a heart attack because he was trying to call plays. But yeah, it was cold. But it's been colder. We've been down here before in December 15th or 16th when it was about 20 degrees, so it was worth it today.
How important was the first half to get off to that good start, to have that lead? I mean, I knew you probably didn't think it was over, but you had to feel a little more comfortable.
We knew it was not over. Then we come out and fumble the kickoff, but that was the difference in the game. Our first half was the difference in the game.
For someone that's never won a state title, you've gotten 8 yourself. For someone who's never won it, describe what that feeling's like.
Oh my goodness, just ecstatic. It's for a high school football coach, it's just a journey with your brothers, and it's special. It really is.
What about these seniors that were on that 2020 team and they're able to take home another state title? What about them?
Wow. I mean, they were such a big part of that year. That was the COVID year, which we ended up having to postpone the game, and then tonight's their night.
We run a lot of different type plays today. The McCormick game I saw in game 1. You were a different looking offense today.
Yeah, well, you remember we were under center some, and we just weren't meshing up with it, and we made the decision just to do it all out of the gun. That was basically the difference. That run the same plays, we run under center.
But you hadn't shown that all year.
Oh, we've shown that since. Oh, really? Yeah. Since probably.
I thought you ran wide a little bit more today.
Yeah, well, we always have done that.
Yeah.
And as far as going again, did you have a lot more support this other schools for public schools against whole public school charter? A little more motivation, at least for
all that. We'll get into that later. No comment on
what
that.
What about the
They were a class act. Oceanside was a class act. They very well coached football team too.
It took you guys a little bit to get going. In that big play, you got busted, that big run. You feel after that moment, you guys were able to.
No, we knew this was going to be a dogfight down to the bitter end. We really did.
We're 2 for 2 winning head coaches crying after their games. Last night and today. What's going on with you fellas?
Well, it's just, coming off this COVID and all and getting back to normal. I mean, these kids just bring it out of you because, they want to be coached. They want to be coached hard, and that's what we do. And, when you overcome I think Buford had to overcome some adversity too, but when you overcome a 2-2 start, which, hey, we're allowed to be 0-4 next year, but guess what? That doesn't matter as long as you're getting better, and they drank the Kool-Aid and bought in and got better and better as the year went on.
Jamie, is it even more special to have your son out there with you?
All these kids are my sons, but
but you got your blood son out there.
Yeah, that's it. That really is special. It really is.
And Antonio Harrison, having him score that last touchdown coming back from injury this year, and it had to be pretty special to see him.
He was our inspiration all year long. Just wait till Tubu gets back. He kept telling me every day, wait till I get back. Well, we got him back, and we didn't run him to probably third round of the playoffs or whatever. We started getting him the ball a little bit. And, he still doesn't have that Tubu burst, but he's pretty good.
Now, what is Tubu? I heard the nickname mentioned.
Named him that years ago. That's all I've ever known him as is Tubu.
What's it mean to a town like Abbeville to win a state championship?
Oh, it's so special. So special. Just everybody takes a part in it. Everybody feels like they're a part of it.
Never gets old?
Never gets old. Not in this business.
Never gets old. Never gets old, David Shelton. Never gets old, he said, in this business, winning championships as a high school football head coach. They'll take as many as they can get their hands on.
Well, I tell you, they're just one of those communities in South Carolina that live and die by the A. That everything they do, every sport, those people in Abbeville support that high school. And I'll tell you, you can have the big city stuff all you want. And I've said this on your show for 20-something years. I love the one community, one school concept. The Abbeville's, the Gaffneys, the Hartsvilles, Berkeley, even though there's some schools around Berkeley, but it's really Moncks Corners, one town, one school. It's just so much special effort that goes into those programs from their whole community. Now, the football team and the coaches are the ones on the field, but I mean, you saw Abbeville's turnout today. I mean, It's like Jamie said, there's not a soul left in Abbeville. And I mean, it was for a 2:00 game on a Friday. You know, I saw people on Twitter kind of comment during the week, it's no fair, nobody will show up. I said, no, y'all don't know. Abbeville is going to show up. They could play at midnight in Alaska, and they would pack that stadium. That's just how important what today was. That's how important it is to places like Abbeville.
And they played Abbeville football, right? They went back. They did what they do, which is play power running game football.
Yeah, 283 yards rushing against a defense that was allowing 11 points a game. They scored 35 points. You know, they were actually under their season average by about 15 yards. But I mean, you saw it, 6 different backs plus the quarterback. You know, when they got the lead in the second half, they put that big 235-pound fullback, and he only had like 30 yards, but he ate up clock. I mean, he just chewed up clock, and that allowed them to hang on, or really not hang on, but it allowed them to burn that clock, so Oceanside really didn't have a shot at coming back.
All right, David, hold on. We'll come back to you in just a moment as we continue from Benedict with the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union.
Things you can do if you think you might have coronavirus or COVID-19. 1, stay home. 2, monitor your symptoms carefully. If they worsen, call your healthcare provider. 3, rest and stay hydrated. 4, if you have a medical appointment, call ahead and let them know you may have COVID-19. 5, if your symptoms are severe, call 911. 6, cover your cough and sneezes. 7, wash your hands often. 8, stay away from others in your home. Use a separate bathroom. 9, avoid sharing personal items. And 10, clean all surfaces that are touched often. For more information on COVID-19, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. Let's take care of ourselves and each other.
The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Tasha Stevens. Twitter CEO Elon Musk is revealing what went on behind the scenes at Twitter when the social platform blocked a New York Post article on Hunter Biden during the final weeks of the 2020 presidential election. Included in today's tweets were screenshots of email requests from people in the Biden administration asking contacts within Twitter to take action against various tweets. The original 2020 New York Post story detailed contents of the laptop that was left at a computer repair shop that belonged to the president's son. A group of railroad workers not happy with Congress after it passed legislation to stop a potential strike. The Railroad Workers United group said it was despicable that both parties opted to side with big business over working people. The group was most annoyed with Biden and Pelosi and their determination to push through an agreement most rail workers voted to reject. This is SRN News.
Right. I've been talking about the people at Stone Interiors from the very beginning. They did the incredible granite counters, the beautiful granite tabletop in my home. Our kitchen is our focal point of our house. The countertops are just gorgeous. When I talk about a local company with tremendous ethics, great workmanship, someone who sees a project through from start to finish, I'm describing Stone Interiors. So have you thought about some granite or marble countertops? What about a backsplash in your kitchen? You want to retile that bathroom? Did you know you can actually go online to stoneinteriors.com, go through their visualizer software, and design your whole kitchen, your whole bathroom project? It is so cool. If that's not for you and you want to visit their showroom, they'd love to have you come out and visit at Stone Interiors, or they can even come to you when it's convenient. For more than 20 years, Stone Interiors has done this thing the right way. Call them, 461-8950 to make an appointment, or visit them at stoneinteriors.com. That's 461-8950 or stoneinteriors.com.
Have you fallen behind on your taxes and might be facing IRS penalties? Have wage garnishments, levies, or liens? Have unfiled tax returns? You want someone local and qualified. Don't fall for those national spots. Meet with me, Teresa, at Capital City Professional Services, and let me help you through your tax maze. I can help with all your tax resolution issues. There are options to get you back on track. Call Capital City Professional Services, 400-8683. That's 400-8683.
Fran Halloran here. Now listen closely to what I'm about to say. I'm a business owner, and many of you listening right now, you're business owners as well. The first rule in owning a business is this: don't waste money. I see business owners waste their marketing dollars all the time. Not me. I figured out a long time ago, 8 years ago to be exact, that spending my marketing dollars at the point was not only intentional, but extremely profitable as well. If you're a small business owner, you owe it to yourself to sit down with Kevin Cohen and ask him to create a custom marketing plan for your business. He's looking for folks just like you who believe in local to partner with him in 2022 and beyond. Trust me when I tell you, partnering with The Point works. You will see results and your marketing budget will no longer be wasted. Give Kev a call at 803-563-8558 and tell him the Money Coach sent you.
There's hundreds of fun and simple things you and your family can do to live a healthier lifestyle. Here's 20 of them. Walk to work, walk the dog, have the dog walk you, take a hike, take a bike, skate, dance, hop, jump, do the Humpty Hump, skip seconds, skip dessert, skip to my lube, don't skip breakfast, drink H2O, lower your sodium, raise the roof, shake your booty, stock up on vegetables, and don't forget to eat them. Search We Can online to find more ways you and your family can get healthy together. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
All right, welcome back into the high school football scoreboard here on the Sports Talk Media Network, State Championship Weekend Edition. We come to you live from Benedict College, where we've had 3 champions crowned since last night. Last night it was Beaufort winning the 3A championship, and today we've had Abbeville win the 2A championship, and just a little while ago Christ Church won the single A championship. In just a moment, Coach Bryce Lybrand from Beaufort will join us. But here is what he had to say last night after the Eagles won their state championship in impressive fashion, running the football, doing nothing but running the football up and down the field and gaining that state championship. Here's what he had to say immediately after getting that W.
This year, just what does it mean? It's awesome. But, you know, what it means is that's what it means. It's these kids. It's unbelievable. What a lesson about life, right? You know, things don't go your way, and you figure it out. You come up with a plan, and then you go work, and that's what they did. You know, we had a bunch of people pick against us all year, and they just didn't care. And so that's the great thing about it. So they're going to get a life lesson out of this, and that's more important than any championship.
You're down 14-0 early. What was the mindset as far as coming back from that?
Man, you ain't watched us. We've been down by 14 ton. I told them when we were in the locker room, I said this is we got them right where we want them. We've been down in every playoff game we had except for round 1. So being down wasn't a big deal to us. You know, you go out in the first half and you know we hardly touched the ball in the second quarter. You know, but we only had 1 punt, and we could kind of tell that physically we were able to do some things, and so you know, we just wanted to keep on pounding the rock, and you know, no need to pass it if you're going to run it like that, right?
You think eventually you wore them down?
I think so. We've kind of seen that throughout the playoffs. It's hard. You know, we're big up front. Casey and Colton are big physical kids, so it's really hard for them to kind of be able to handle. So, yeah, you just got to keep leaning on people, and, you know, that's what we're able to do. Did you see something special on the left side? It seems like y'all stayed that way a lot, especially in the first half. Yeah, I saw that 6'5", 320-pound tackle. His name's Adrian Lamb. Somebody needs to recruit him. He's great. Yeah, I mean, it's just that's been the strong side for us, and We feel good about the guys pulling from the backside over there. So, yeah, we just stuck with it.
Sorry if you're not asking a question. Sorry, Coach, you getting no short last year. You get it done this year. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels great, But it's like I told them, it's great for these kids. That's what it's great for. And, that's why I'm so happy.
I know it's going out here. They got that bucket on you. How you feeling right now?
I feel great. Great. I'll be cold for this one.
in the decision to go to two backs a couple weeks ago with Ferris and Fields. Well, what about them? Those guys weren't going to be denied tonight.
They're unbelievable. They're unbelievable, and they deserve it. And but it's the whole team, and taking pictures. But it's the whole team, and just really proud. And they'd be the first ones to tell you that it takes a whole group to do it. And so we did it.
Did you think when you got that stop that it was it? I mean,
yeah, we told, hey, let's just get one stop. Let's just get one stop. So yeah.
My last and only question, Coach. I mean, how does it feel to send out your seniors like this? I know you leaned on them.
That's what you want. It's everything that you want as head coach when you got a good group like that. So really excited for them.
Okay, that was Bryce Lybrand last night after Beaufort won the 3A state championship 41-31 over Powdersville. He now joins us live from somewhere down there in the Beaufort area, perhaps still celebrating that championship. Coach, welcome in. Congratulations to you once again. How you feeling tonight?
Feeling good, man. We're down here on Bay Street, so everything's great.
Yeah. So you've had 24 hours to reflect. What have you thought about over the last 24 hours?
I think you just think about, the 4 years that it takes to get to this point, and, all the highs and the lows, and the things that are good and the things that were rough. And, we started 4 years ago, 0-5, and it was not easy. But these kids just always believed, and this class was the first one I ever had, and they just kind of always believed that we could do something great. And even if maybe that was a crazy thing to believe in, they believed in it. So that's kind of the biggest thing you think about, is just how far we've come from being 0-5 to I don't know, in the past since then I think we're like 34-7 or something like that. So just kind of thinking about that is kind of the biggest thing.
Yeah. Was that a first last night for you and your program, not attempting a pass?
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of one of those things that we've always kind of joked around about, but ultimately we that wasn't something that we think we're going to do. But last year we had a 2,500 yard passer, and this year we had a 2,200 yard rusher. And so I think it's just about figuring out what's best for your team. And, we first drive didn't go the way we wanted it to. Second drive, we kind of started getting some things going. And third drive, when we came out, we kind of saw that they were subbing some people that maybe we hadn't seen a whole lot of. And we kind of looked at our offensive coordinator, Logan Powell, and I said, I don't think they like the physicality of this game right now. And so we just kind of hunkered down and said, okay, let's get real physical with them and see if they can handle it. And, ultimately we were able to kind of push them around a little bit. And so we didn't really need to. And so, and that's the cool thing about this group is, these kids, nowadays, if you take a quarterback and you say, hey, you're not going to throw it in a state championship game, 99 times out of 100, they get mad about it because they want to throw the ball around. But Samari Bonds didn't care at all. He just wanted to win a state championship, and we had the chance to win, and he was fine with handing it off last night. He had to make some big reads last week, and so that I think that's the difference in this group and maybe some of the other ones we've had.
David Shelton, you got some questions for the coach?
Yeah, I've been asking Bryce questions all year. But Bryce, take us through the conversation when you decided to kind of vary your offense a little bit to this two-back set. I mean, you were winning games. It wasn't like you were struggling. But was this something that you that you and your staff said, hey, if we're going to take that next step, if we're going to take advantage of our best guys in the playoffs, we're going to have to adjust? I mean, how did that whole conversation happen? Because, late in the season, that's not something a lot of coaching staffs would do.
Yeah, I would love to tell you that was a conversation we had, but it really wasn't. Really for us, it was during our bye week. We kind of said, hey, let's go ahead and start working this and start figuring it out. And we did, and we told our kids, like, hey, we're not going to use this unless we absolutely have to, because it's a really tough kind of offense to stop. There's a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of just, you got to be really, really disciplined as a defense to make it work. And so, we ran it my first year just out of necessity, and Jeff Calabrese and BJ Payne told me, they were like, this is the most pain in the butt thing to get ready for that we've ever had to get ready for as defensive coaches. And so when they said that, you kind of go, well, if those guys are having problems with it, then everybody's got problems with it. So, we kind of start getting ready for it. And so we said, that's what we're going to do. And, and so we just kind of said, hey, if we got to use it, we got to use it. And against Crestwood, we're down by 18. And so we started to use it. And it got us through. And then against Dillon, we put Colton Ferris back there with Casey Fields. And those are the two most underrated guys in the state of South Carolina. And that made the difference for us in a game. And so it was a good thing for us. And those guys make a lot of difference. You just, when you get to this point in the season, you gotta figure out a way to get your best players the ball. And those two are our best players, and they do a great job.
And you got you average like 295 on the offensive line, and you go back-to-back games with over 400 yards rushing.
Right.
And I told you last week or during the week that I don't know if Dillon has ever given up 400 yards rushing in a game, and you went to Dillon and did that and then repeated it. Even when you made this, when you started this, I mean, you don't expect, hey, we're going to rush for 400 yards.
Right. No, it's not something you're ready for. But, also, that, the weird thing about the two-back stuff that we do is, in a lot of situations, the better coach you are, the harder it is, because if you're going to read guards and you're going to do that stuff, then, we've got some false pulls and some stuff in that that's just really, really hard to deal with. And so, it's a situation where if you want to do that, that's great. But we would rather be playing in the two-back stuff against really great coach teams than a team that's not great coach, because teams that aren't really well coached, you kind of get a lot of really weird, funky things, and they're just kind of sending people from everywhere. Well, whereas if you're coaching, you're playing against somebody that's really, really well coached, what they're going to do. And so, we feel pretty comfortable, if those teams are really well coached and what they're going to do, that, we can find some things that work. And, last night for us, it just turned into one of those games where we looked out and we said, man, we just got to just go be physical with them inside. And, we saw we'd get 4 or 5 yards every time we ran it. There wasn't any reason to change what we were doing. And so we just stuck with it.
Well, you did a great job. What a show you put on last night with that offense and that running game. Congratulations to you once again. Thank you for taking time out to be with us tonight. I know you're got to be exhausted, but enjoy the trophy and everything that comes with it, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. And hey, thanks for, congratulations for you. I saw where you're up for an award, and that's very well deserved. So congratulations to you.
Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. You have a great one. We'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Coach Bryce Lybrand from Beaufort High School. David, in case you were wondering, I don't like to brag about it, but I've been nominated again for best looking sportscaster in America. So I didn't know the coach was aware of that.
It had nothing to do. It had nothing to do with looks because Scott Iceberg is on the list too. So we know it's not about looks.
I'd lose out to him every time. How can I match the beauty of the iceberg?
Hair than him.
On the back, I think I do, yes. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the break, and after the break, we'll be joined by Coach Jamie Nichols from Abbeville. He's just fresh off a championship, made it back to the upstate, kind of chilling. I wonder who had, school's closed. Who's got the trophy? Does he have it with him? Does he take it home? Maybe his captains have it. We'll find out where the trophy is when he joins us to talk about his team's terrific win earlier today. That's coming up here on the High School Football Scoreboard from Benedict College, here on the Sports Talk Media Network.
Founders Federal Credit Union knows your life is busy and your money is important. We are proud to offer local personalized services and convenient online services like Founders Online and the Founders app. You'll love being with us as much as we love serving you. Visit relaxjoinfounders.com or one of our 37 convenient locations to see if you qualify for membership with Founders. Relax, win with Founders. Terms and conditions apply. Founders Federal Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
Touchstone Energy cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
Hi, I'm State Treasurer Curtis Loftus, and I've got a great gift idea that requires zero shopping, the gift of college savings. Future Scholar, South Carolina's 529 college savings plan makes it easy. Grandparents, friends, and family can all contribute to a Future Scholar account and know that they're providing a gift that will last a lifetime. If you're looking for the perfect gift this holiday season, look no further. Learn more about the smart, easy way to save and give this holiday season at futurescholar.com.
In Columbia, South Carolina, game days are our specialty. Whether you're watching the game from inside the stadium or from the big screen at your favorite local spot, the energy remains the same. Craft the perfect fall Saturday in a city where there is plenty of action on and off the field. From tubing and kayaking to Soda City to rooftop restaurants and plenty barbecue. We're ready when you are. Plan your weekend at experiencecolumbiasc.com.
Okay, we're back on the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. We continue with our coverage of the state championship games. And earlier today, it was Abbeville in the two-way championship gaining another trophy. Man, that trophy case has got to be bulging there in Abbeville. 35-20 over Oceanside Collegiate. We have Coach Jamie Nichols with us, head coach of the Panthers. It's his 8th championship. It's the 12th in the program's history, ties them with the iconic Somerville program for second all-time in South Carolina. And, Coach, congratulations to you. What was that ride back with you and your boys after getting this championship today?
Yeah, it was just jubilation. Just so proud of our kids. And, we have a little tradition. When you win a state championship, we have a square, and you would be amazed still at the number of people who greeted us as we came back into town. It was really one for the ages. It really was.
Wow. I can only imagine. Who has the trophy?
It's at the school right now, but everybody's got a part of it, and we'll enjoy it next week. We really will.
How do you feel if you've had a chance to think about this, Little Abbeville, right up there with Monster Somerville for the second most championships in state history, and still adding to them, might we add. How's it feel to be paired with John McKissick in Somerville?
Well, there's no comparison there. John McKissick is just an unbelievable guy. He did so much for football in our state all these years. But, we're just happy to have Abbeville in the conversation. It really is. It really is a special, special time. And this one, you beat a quality football team like Oceanside. This one's, extra special. It really is.
What do you think made the difference? I mean, you guys ran the ball like you're going to do. They threw the ball like they're going to do. They had more yards than you did, but you stopped them many times when they had a chance to score. Do you kind of point to your defense and coming up with big plays there as being the difference?
I thought that was the key, getting off the field on third down. They did such a good job in the run game. We knew that would be crucial going into the game, and we were able to stop them in big downs and then stopping them right before the half, and then we fumbled the opening kickoff of the second half, so you lose a possession there. But we were able to move the ball. Our offensive coaches did an unbelievable job, and defensive guys did a good job of scheming things to get them off the field. But it was tough sledding against you outweighed about 100 pounds a man. Their offensive line against our defensive line, and then they would turn around and their defensive line was absolutely huge. I thought our speed kicked in, and big plays. We had so many big plays. That was the key.
David Shelton, questions for the coach?
Yeah, Jamie, was the plan to try to make them one dimension, to take away the run and take your chances in the passing game? I mean, was that the game plan going in, or did it just kind of evolve that way?
It evolved, because, their running back 24 is so good, and he gets behind that offensive line and just leans on you. But, yeah, I thought I thought our defensive game plan was solid, and I thought offensively, we took what the defense gave you, did a good job of scheming with some plays that takes advantage of their good fundamentals, running some reads, that really first touchdown was a little option play where you could give it a read off the end or whatever. Their guy closed, did a good job, and then Carson took the handoff and with 60 yards. That was huge. That was huge for us.
You had some really key seniors, your son included, and Antonio Tubu coming back and having an impact. But you had some sophomores like Carson Newman and Patterson and Leach. I mean, you had some young bucks go out there and play today that did really well.
Well, that was the key to this whole team. Your juniors and seniors grow up playing together. But when we evolved to where the relationship between your seniors and your sophomores was the key to this whole season, because we knew we needed those sophomores to play. And they really evolved, some on defense and some on offense, really evolved to really give us that extra depth that you need to make a playoff run. And, the playoff seedings and all really set up well for us. And we were able to, stay ultimately healthy through the playoff run, because 5 games is a lot of games in playoffs.
Wears you down, no question. But you had enough of a punch here today to deliver the blow. And so what's ahead for you next year? I know you want to enjoy this year, but leave it to us to already start thinking about 23 and the grind ahead. You still looking to grind? I mean, you're committed to come back for another year?
Yeah, well, we lose our whole offensive line, and we lose some really, really, really talented seniors. So, it'll be a rebuilding year for us. But, we look forward to the challenge, getting in the weight room and getting to work, trying to, just see how competitive we can be next year. But for right now, you're exactly right. We're going to enjoy this when the Santa Claus comes down. I promise you that.
There you go. Hey, congratulations once again. I know you're just totally spent. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. Good luck. We'll talk to you again soon. We really appreciate it.
Just appreciate all you guys do for high school football in this area, guys. You and David and Phil, y'all do it, and Billy and all, y'all do an outstanding job.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations once again. Jamie Nichols.
Thank you.
That's 8 for him and a dandy dozen for the Panthers. And they're right up there now. There's nothing, Somerville, Abbeville, and there's nothing between them and Gaffney. Got to put their eye. But Gaffney's got what, David? Like 18, 19?
Yeah,
17.
They're 17 or 18, I think.
Yeah, 17, 18. That's pretty healthy total. One college score to keep an eye on as the night wears on. Utah is leading Southern Cal 24-17. They're going to the fourth quarter in the Pac-12 championship game in Las Vegas. Obviously, this is
How
huge
good would
related
that
to the
be?
college football playoff.
How good would this be? Oh, this would be awesome.
I mean, you want that. Huh? You want chaos?
I love chaos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some funny things could happen over the weekend.
Well, they're going to come back and win. They're going to win.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean, Caleb Williams was great last week and against Notre Dame, and people are already crowning him with the Heisman. But obviously, Utah is and Utah beat them earlier in the year, I believe, right? They had Southern Cal their lone loss.
Is that their only loss?
They know how to. Yeah. They know how to handle it.
Their
only loss.
They got it
Thank
on
you,
the.
JP.
They got it on the 17-yard line right now.
Who does?
Utah's on. The Utes are on the 17-yard line.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. I just swallowed my own spit there. Sorry about that. And we'll come back after the top of the hour break and continue with more. Be right back.
107 The Point. MakeThePointRadio.com. The Point. The Point.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Tasha Stevens. Twitter CEO Elon Musk is revealing what went on behind the scenes at Twitter when the social platform blocked a New York Post article on Hunter Biden during the final weeks of the 2020 presidential election. Included in today's tweets were screenshots of email requests from people in the Biden administration asking contacts within Twitter to take action against various tweets. The original 2020 New York Post story detailed contents of the laptop that was left at a computer repair shop. The laptop belonged to Hunter Biden. The group of 7 nations, along with Australia, joined the European Union in setting a $60 per barrel price cap on Russian oil. A key step as Western sanctions aim to reorder the global oil market to prevent price spikes and starve President Vladimir Putin of funding for his war in Ukraine. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby says the price cap on Russian oil is appropriate.
Limiting Mr. Putin's ability to profit off of oil sales and limit his ability to continue to use that money to fund his war machine.
Price cap aims to prevent a sudden loss of Russian oil to the world that could lead to a new surge in energy prices. The nation's 988 call service for helping anyone experiencing a mental health emergency is back up and running.
The hotline was out of service on Thursday, but was restored shortly before midnight and was running on Friday. People experiencing a mental health crisis were still able to reach a mental health counselor by texting 988 or visiting 988lifeline.org to start a chat. The Health and Human Services spokeswoman says the federal government is investigating the hotline's outage. John Scott reporting.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
My name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold, the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Hi, this is Dennis Prager. As you know, the culmination of my life's work has been writing my Rational Bible Commentary series. I have done Genesis, Exodus, and the just-released Deuteronomy. They are all called the Rational Bible because my approach is entirely reason-based. So if you're looking for the perfect holiday gift, even for someone with no faith, in fact, especially, I recommend giving them my Rational Bibles. Go to PragerStore.com. You can buy them individually or as a complete set. That's PragerStore.com, or click the banner on my website.
America's newest nuclear stealth bomber makes its public debut after years of secret development. Bob Agnew reports.
The B-21 Raider is the first new American bomber aircraft in more than 30 years. It's part of the Pentagon's effort to modernize all three legs of its nuclear triad, which also includes silo-launched nuclear ballistic missiles and submarine-launched warheads. The goal is to stave off a rising threat from China. It's on track to have 1,500 nuclear weapons by 2035, and it's seen recent gains in hypersonics and cyber and space warfare capacities. Bob Agnew reporting.
A joint venture between General Motors and South Korean battery company LG Energy Solution says it will invest an additional $275 million to expand a Tennessee battery cell factory for electric vehicles. Officials with the companies had already pledged to spend $2.3 billion to build a battery plant in Spring Hill, Tennessee. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Tasha Stevens.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
What can I possibly do to make this stressful time a little better? Here's one thing I found. It's a small thing, a simple thing, a remarkable thing. Smile. You can share a smile from more than 6 feet apart. You can share it socially with the whole world. In fact, right now, I'm smiling at you, and I hope you're smiling back, because smiling is in you. From PassItOn.com.
By the way, before we do what's supposed to happen here, thank you for pushing the button. The Point.
This is the Founders Federal High School Football Scoreboard on the Sports Talk Media Network. Coming up, scores and reports from across the state and analysis from David Shelton. The Scoreboard is brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Relax, you're with Founders. Now your host for the High School Scoreboard, Phil Kornblut.
You know, some people around me found my comment that I swallowed my own spit to be kind of gross. So I apologize to any offended by that, but that's what happened. Actually, you ever swallowed and it go down the wrong way and you have to cough? That's what happened. So, you know, I guess some people don't have that issue. It's great to have you back with us here on the High School Football Scoreboard. Our final hour, 55 minutes to go for this 2022 season, dating back to what? When did we start? Like August 17th or something like that? And here it is, David Shelton. We always say when it starts, so glad it's here. Hang on. It's going to go quickly. All of a sudden, you're into region play. Then the playoffs begin, and here we are, state championship weekend. So it's been quick, but it's been fun.
Yeah, I mean, it always is. It always seems like it goes quick, but it's always fun. This is the highlight of many people's Friday nights, including mine.
Yeah, I live for this stuff. Can't wait to do it next year. So anyway, we've had 3 games played, and we're going to hear from Coach Hatfield, winner of coach at Christ Church, winner of the 1A championship. Comments from him coming up a little bit later on, so stay tuned for that. But right now, I want to welcome in to the High School Football Scoreboard one of the great football men in our state, a Hall of Fame coach who knows a thing or two about winning on the championship weekend, Coach Shell Dula, the executive director of the South Carolina Athletic Coaches Association. And we've got coming up, of course, next week, it's All-Star Week in Myrtle Beach, the Touchstone Energy Bowl. And at halftime of the game next Saturday, it'll be the announcement of the Mr. Football Award winner in South Carolina. And Coach has joined us. He's obviously involved in overseeing what happens there. Coach, good evening. How are you?
Phil, doing very good. I hope you are, and just appreciate everything that you do for high school athletics and especially high school football. But good to be with you this evening.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We're visiting in your world, sir. We're visiting in your world. You know what it's like to win a state championship. What do you think's going through the minds of the 3 winning coaches we've had so far?
Well, of course, again, it's a great opportunity to get there and get to that game and and have a chance to compete for the state championship. And our hats off to all three of the head coaches and their staff and their players. The one last night, of course, was very special to us in the fact that Bryce Lybrand had played for us here at Greenwood. And Bryce has done a great job down at Buford. And, of course, Jamie Nichols is right here in our backyard, so to speak. And the job that they do at Abbeville is unbelievable. And, of course, Christchurch just looked phenomenal this evening. And they've had a great year, had that one loss early, but had a great year. So I know all three of them and their staff and their players are excited. They feel like they put their whole self into it, and certainly they have. Hats off also to the three teams that played, all year and got to the state championship game and maybe came up just a tad short. But, it's been 3 good football games and 6 good teams, and they've all done a good job in their communities, and all should be very proud of each one of them.
What did you think when you heard the news last night that Buford won the state championship and they didn't throw a pass, didn't attempt a pass?
Well, again, I talked with Bryce during the week earlier for just a moment, and just to wish him luck, and all, since he was one of our guys. But Buford had been there last year and lost in the finals, and again, Robert Muster and his staff have done a great job at Powdersville, but not to throw the football and just rush it like they did. Somewhat what Dutch Fork did last week, really, against Gaffney. I mean, threw it very little and just sort of pounding them with it, and that's their football, and I guess that's the approach that Bryce and his staff are taking, and they've got some good people and good offensive line, and they certainly made it work last night.
Okay, well, we've got 7 finalists for Mr. Football. We had you on the show when the list was ready to be released by the committee. Jarvis Green, running back from Dutch Fork. Bryson James from Clinton. Raheem Jeter from Spartanburg High School. Xavier McLeod from Camden. Jonah Norris from Lexington. Lenoris Sellers from South Florence. Tyler Smith from Barnwell. And the winner will be announced at halftime of the upcoming Touchstone Energy Bowl game at Doug Shaw Memorial Stadium coming up this Saturday or a week from tomorrow. So where are we in the process now with the decision making? Is this something that's already done, or does it come to you guys? Does the committee get together during this coming week? How does it work at this point moving forward?
Well, first of all, we appreciate every coach that submitted nominees for this prestigious award. That's the first criteria, is they've got to be nominated by their head coach. And we've got 7 finalists, and, they're all just outstanding football players, outstanding young men. We do have a committee that meets, and this committee, first of all, gets down to the finalists, and they came up with 7 finalists, and then this committee also then picks the winner. So the winner has been picked, and nobody knows, I guess, but me and a couple of others, and they're all outstanding football players. But yes, the process has been done. Therefore, it's to some degree based not on a complete playoff picture, but regular season and early into the playoffs. But a decision has been made.
Yeah. Is it hard to keep that secret?
Well, I don't think so. Everybody likes the excitement of it being announced at halftime of the game. Bob Pauling, who represents the Touchstone Energy Cooperatives and works with us very closely, will make that announcement at halftime, and we have a chance, because all of them are special. To be a finalist for that award is a great honor, and we want them all to feel that way and to feel like that they are being honored, and certainly they are for their accomplishments. And their commitment to their school and to their team and to their community. But, they're all 7 just great football players, great young men. And, you got to make a choice. And, everybody's not going to be happy, but, that the committee felt very strongly about this. And, they do a good job of trying to look at the complete picture and making a choice. Again, all 7 could be deserving of this award, but you can only pick one.
Absolutely. Visiting with Shell Dula for a couple of more minutes here on the High School Football Scoreboard, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. So when the committee discusses each individual and they kind of break it down, would you say percentage-wise, like, do they look more at their football skills, more at their academic report, more of their community service? Is it in their minds? Is it split among those 3 categories as they analyze each of the finalists?
Well, I think, Mr. Football, South Carolina, we want to try to honor the finest football player in our state. And again, we've got 7 of those. So the football talent is certainly a major part of it. And their contributions to their team and their contributions to the sport. But then there are other areas that are considered, whether it be their community involvement, whether it be their school involvement, whether it be their attitude, effort, leadership. All that does play a part. But again, the winner of this award, and I think we can look back over the years, has always been an outstanding football player. All 7 of these are outstanding football players. And then you do bring in some other criteria. But, we've got people on our committee from various parts of the state that, have had a chance to hear about these players, see them play to some degree, comment on them. So it's a full day when this committee gets together and tries to evaluate and we have letters from the head coach. We have letters from teachers within their school. Sometimes we have letters from the principal. But the letters from the teachers are very important as we get an idea about their behavior, their character, their how well they apply themselves, et cetera, et cetera. So it all comes together, and several areas are looked at in making this decision. But again, to be nominated and to be a finalist, they are excellent football players, all 7 of them.
Does anybody besides the committee members, their families, maybe you, know who the committee members are? I mean, over the years, that's been like as secret as the nuclear code, I think. Does anybody know who these people are who make the decision?
Well, probably not. And again, but they also with our scholarship committee. We have a excellent scholarship program with the South Carolina Athletic Coaches Association, giving $87,500 in scholarships this year. We have a committee that evaluates that and works on it. My wife Mary does a great job in preparing it, but this committee comes in and makes some decisions. The Ringer Scholarship or the Carolina Sports Scholarship and all, and again, we try to basically keep that under wraps too, because we appreciate these folks giving of their time and giving of their energy and their effort. And they've got a tough job. It is tough. And so, you sort of keep it where you don't want anybody to be, somebody call it, well, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? So I guess if people are disappointed, they can call me and I'll be glad to listen. But these volunteers, we don't need to put them in that position. So we just sort of keep it. And I think this has been the policy for many years, just to sort of have a committee that works awfully hard, but you don't want to put them out there where there can be any criticism or questioning or anything of that nature.
Sure. David Shelton, you have a question or two for Coach Dula?
I have one, and Coach, I'd like you to just clarify this. A lot of people have asked me, and trust me, I'm not on the committee. I don't have anything to do with this, but they've asked me because of the business I'm in. Is there any taken into account for? I know this award is for 2022, but is career stuff taken into account? Like if a guy's had a 3 or 4 year really good career, or is it based solely on the 2022 season?
Basically, based on Mr. Football South Carolina 2022 is the way we would approach it. Now, a lot of coaches, when they write their letter of reference, you get a lot of the X and O things in that. And, plus you get the character, the leadership, and sometimes that would be mentioned, and every member of the committee receives a copy of each letter that's written on behalf of each of the nominees. And so, there would be an element of them being aware. But as far as during the group discussion, it is we look at it as a honor for 2022. Now, it's hard to separate 2022 from their senior year, the junior year, the sophomore. Not say, I can't say it doesn't enter in, but we do classify it as Mr. Football for 2022. So I think we would look at what they accomplished this year primarily, and then the rest of it could be supplemental.
Okay.
Coach, thank you, David. Coach, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Late night hour, I know, but we appreciate you
I'm sitting here
answering.
watching this football game on TV, so we were up anyway, and so we appreciate it, Phil. We we look forward to seeing everybody in Myrtle Beach next week. We appreciate so much the coaches in our state who take the time and effort to make the nominations. And again, we're very fortunate in the state of South Carolina. We've got not only outstanding coaches, but we've got outstanding players, and we appreciate each of them very much.
Well, we thank you very much, sir, and tell Coach Mrs. Dula that we said hello and look forward to seeing her next week. See you guys down at the beach. Looking forward to a great week with the Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl down there. And again, the game will be a week from Saturday. Coach, thank you so much. Talk to you next week.
Okay, Phil. Thank you so much. It's always good to talk with you. Thank you.
You too, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, Coach Shell Dula answered some good questions there about the whole process with Mr. Football. And, it's a tough call. It's a tough call. How do you separate one from the next? But somebody has to be chosen as the man. Who's your pick, David, of the 7? You got one in mind that you really think is most worthy?
I struggle with 2. I have Lenora Sellers and Jarvis Green. I think either one of them would be extremely deserving, again, based on this season. That's why I asked the question about career, because a lot of people have asked me, with Jarvis Green, man, he's going to have a great career, and he was, 5 touchdowns as a sophomore in the state championship game or whatever. So a lot of people kind of get confused with that. And that's why I asked that question, because Jarvis Green has had an outstanding career. Lenora Sellers has had a really good 2022. Jarvis has too. But, I think to me, it's between those 2. But any one of those 7 could probably win it. But if I were voting, it would be one of those 2.
A reminder, now this does not affect the decision, but just for fun, the Touchstone Electric Cooperatives, through their website, South Carolina Living, they have a reader's poll, and you can go and vote for your choice. And that's all you have to do is go to their website, scliving.coop, and just click on the link to the reader poll for Mr. Football, and you can vote. But again, that you're not voting for the actual Mr. Football. That's done by the committee, so don't kid yourself. But it's still a lot of fun to participate in that. Okay, thank you to to Coach Dula. And I can't remember having a field this big of 7 nominees. It's usually like what, 4 or 5 maybe? I mean, 7
it's
is
usually it's usually at least 5, but I think I remember one year where they had 7. 1 or 2 years.
Okay. Well, you know what? There's one place and one place only where you can hear the announcement live, okay? And that'll be on our broadcast a week from Saturday at halftime. We'll carry that live. You'll hear it first. You'll have it before Lou has it. You'll scoop Lou if you're listening.
Nope. Lou will have it.
He can't tweet it. He cannot tweet it fast enough to where it's going out over the air. He can't tweet it fast enough. It's physically impossible. He can't do it. His fingers aren't that fast.
You can't trust those guys from up there, man. Up around the Ohio area, they're sneaky.
Yeah.
He's
a Yankee. You're like you said, he's a Yankee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to go to the break, and when we come back, some comments from the winning coach tonight from Christ Church, Coach Quinn Hatfield. Not to be confused with Ken Hatfield. Quinn Hatfield wins a state championship at Christ Church. Some comments from him, more from David, and then Scott Early coming up after the bottom of the hour. And Chris Deering's going to come over, and I think Lou might come over as well. Got a lot coming up. Don't leave us. Be right back.
Show your team pride wherever you go with Founders Federal Credit Union's collegiate debit cards. Get your University of South Carolina and Clemson University debit cards at any Founders office or by calling 1-800-845-1614. Plus, our debit cards are digital wallet ready, so you can pay however you please. Not a member? Visit RelaxJoinFounders.com or one of our 37 convenient locations to see if you qualify for membership. Terms and conditions apply. Founders Federal Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
Your home is where your memories live. It's where you laugh and where you love. We understand the importance of the valuables under your roof, tangible and intangible alike. So no matter what's around the corner, we'll be there, offering you and your family the support that's made Farm Bureau Insurance a trusted name for nearly 70 years. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. Learn more at scfbins.com.
Call me, Alex Satterfield, at 803-749-9171 for all of your Midlands insurance needs.
When your day calls for some winning, why not watch your favorite football team at Dave & Buster's? We've got massive HD TVs and hundreds of the hottest new games. Sip from our chef-crafted cocktail menu with exclusive drinks such as the Strawberry Watermelon Margarita or Dangerous Waters. Cheer on the team with Cantina Nachos or wings featuring one of our 12 wing flavors. When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can watch the games and play the games. Locations in Greenville, Columbia, and Myrtle Beach.
South Carolina's taste buds have spoken, and they're asking for beef. There are more than 7,800 farms raising cattle from pasture to plate in the Palmetto State. So whether it's steaks on the grill before the big game, sirloin medallions plated for date night, or burgers with a family, make sure beef is a part of your playbook this football season. Smoked, grilled, and slow roasted. Find the best way to enjoy your beef at scattle.org. Beef. It's what's for dinner in South Carolina. Funded by the South Carolina Beef Council, part of the Beef Checkoff Program.
Something seems appropriate to me right now to have Rocky Top playing while we're getting ready to play comments from a coach named Hatfield. That just feels right to me. Here are comments from Christ Church coach Quinn Hatfield right after his team won the 1A state championship tonight, just a little while ago, 43-20 over Johnsonville. They passed it well and they ran it well. Here are comments as he takes questions from the media from Coach Quinn Hatfield.
Honor our history. I've said it. Every day we go in the locker room, we see all the state championship, the region championships, and it's been something we've been aiming towards over the last few years, and we've been working and working and working. We've been knocking on that door this year, and we busted through it tonight, so it's special.
How did it happen tonight? It seemed like
all phases were clicking. The running game looked great. The passing game looked great.
Yeah, I mean, it happened because we did what we do. You know, we didn't get off to a great start and got a little behind them at 7-0. And then we got in the rhythm and kind of found what was working. And then the defense did what the defense has been doing all year. Special teams was big for us, too. And so it was just a great team effort. That's what these guys do, man. That's what they're all about.
Well, how about that goal line stand?
Tremendous. You know, we had one last week against St. Joe's. We had them 4th and 2, tie ball game, and it turned the game around. It was a spark for us, and it was another spark tonight, man. That's defense, man. Just bow your neck and make a play, and that's what they do. They tough.
For someone that's never won a state championship, just describe what that feeling's like.
It's special. It's special. I played in one as a player. We didn't win, but, again, it ain't really about me. It's what I wanted for these guys is what we've been marching towards. And, you know, when you set a goal and you work hard and you ask God to bless it and the right people together and you achieve it, it's special. It's very special.
All right, Coach Hatfield. David got about 45 seconds. Summarize Quinn Hatfield for us. What makes him special as a coach?
Well, I met him a couple of years ago. I think it was 2 years ago at the coaches clinic, and we sat and talked for about 15 minutes. And you can just tell his enthusiasm and his love for coaching and his players. I mean, he was really enthusiastic about his program and what he was building there. And I talked to someone, his former, I guess, headmaster or principal, who is now at First Baptist School in Charleston, and he said the same thing about him. He said Quinn's energy and excitement level, his love for his team and for football is what makes him special.
Yeah, special tonight. That's a great win for Christ Church. They win the 1A championship. Okay, after the break, Coach Scott Early from Westside, but also the director of the Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl. He'll join us. We'll talk about Bowl Week next week. Then Chris Deering is going to stop by and visit with us for a little bit, too. We'll be back after the break.
With smaller social circles, feelings of loneliness and isolation can feel overwhelming. But there's something we can all do to help. Connect with your older loved one virtually and have the conversation of a lifetime with StoryCorps Connect. Anyone can conduct an interview, and every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history. Connect, honor, share at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
I'm Kimberly Cockrell from Lexington. I work closely now with MAD South Carolina. In 1993, my best friend Nancy was killed in a drunk driving crash. MAD was there for me and will be there for you if you've been affected by a drunk or drugged crash.
Friends, this is Kevin Cohen. If you've been impacted by one of these tragedies, let MAD help you. Online, it's mad.org, or call them 748-7333. That's 748-7333 for MAD.
Article on Hunter Biden during the final weeks of the 2020 presidential election. Included in today's tweets were screenshots of email requests from people in the Biden administration asking contacts with Twitter to take action against various tweets. The original 2020 New York Post story detailed contents on the laptop that was left at a computer repair shop. The laptop belonged to Hunter Biden. Also at srnnews.com, the group of 7 nations, along with Australia, have joined the European Union in setting a $60 per barrel price cap on Russian oil, a key step as Western sanctions aim to reorder the global oil market to prevent price spikes and starve President Vladimir Putin of funding for his war in Ukraine. National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby.
Hi, I've been talking about the people at Stone Interiors from the very beginning. They did the incredible granite counters, the beautiful granite tabletop in my home. Our kitchen is our focal point of our house. The countertops are just gorgeous. When I talk about a local company with tremendous ethics, great workmanship, someone who sees a project through from start to finish, I'm describing Stone Interiors. So have you thought about some granite or marble countertops? What about a backsplash in your kitchen? You want to retile that bathroom? Did you know you can actually go online to stoneinteriors.com, go through their visualizer software, and design your whole kitchen, your whole bathroom project? It is so cool. If that's not for you and you want to visit their showroom, they'd love to have you come out and visit at Stone Interiors, or they can even come to you when it's convenient. For more than 20 years, Stone Interiors has done this thing the right way. Call them 461-8950 to make an appointment or visit them at stoneinteriors.com. That's 461-8950 or stoneinteriors.com.
Have you fallen behind on your taxes and might be facing IRS penalties? Have wage garnishments, levies, or liens? Have unfiled tax returns? You want someone local and qualified. Don't fall for those national spots. Meet with me, Teresa, at Capital City Professional Services, and let me help you through your tax maze. I can help with all your tax resolution issues. There are options to get you back on track. Call Capital City Professional Services, 400-8683. That's 400-8683.
Fran Halloran here. Now listen closely to what I'm about to say. I'm a business owner, and many of you listening right now, you're business owners as well. The first rule in owning a business is this: don't waste money. I see business owners waste their marketing dollars all the time. Not me. I figured out a long time ago, 8 years ago to be exact, that spending my marketing dollars at the point was not only intentional, but extremely profitable as well. If you're a small business owner, you owe it to yourself to sit down with Kevin Cohen and ask him to create a custom marketing plan for your business. He's looking for folks just like you who believe in local to partner with him in 2022 and beyond. Trust me when I tell you, partnering with The Point works. You will see results and your marketing budget will no longer be wasted. Give Kev a call at 803-563-8558 and tell him the Money Coach sent you.
Look out, world, we're getting strong. The future's here and we belong. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM.
Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
All right, let's see here. Utah's going to beat Southern Cal. 40-24, they're leading with just under 5 minutes to play. And chaos is starting to happen this weekend, which is great for college football. We do love the chaos. But you got Ohio State and you got Alabama sitting there waiting. If TCU gets beat, what's going to happen?
It's not over.
Go ahead. What's not over?
It's this game. Did you see what happened? Well, I guess you didn't, did you?
No.
Utah scored a touchdown, and the guy took his helmet off after he scored, so they penalized him, and they missed the extra point. So it went from being a 17-point game, which is 3 possessions, to now 16. If USC scores twice with 2 two-point conversions, this game will be tied. Now, granted, it's under 5 minutes, but what a mistake. The look on Kyle Whittingham's face when that kid did that was priceless. It was like, I am going to break your neck. But Caleb Williams threw a bad pick in the red zone a while ago that led to that last touchdown. Just did not see the safety coming over, and it was a bad pick. And he's been harassed all night. I've been watching this game. He is taking hit after hit after hit. Utah's defense is pretty good.
By the way, David, USC played last week. The Southern Cal playing tonight. USC's resting, getting ready for their bowl game, just so you know. In these parts.
Oh, my God.
In these parts. Let's welcome in Coach Scott Early, head coach at West Side of Anderson. But this week, he puts on his director's hat, running the Touchstone Energy Cooperatives Bowl. Have you ever had, and thank you for joining us, have you ever had a player take off their helmet like that after scoring and draw a penalty in all your years of coaching?
No, I can honestly say I have not, but ain't college football fun?
It is when you got this sort of stuff going on. It's going to be interesting over the next 24 hours or so. Coach, Thank you for joining us. I know you are gearing up for a big week next week, and just tell the audience some of the things that you've got in mind that are planned, what the kids can look forward to seeing down at the beach next week.
Well, I'm heading down tomorrow to do the prep work, and it's an ongoing thing. But we've added so many good things. The combine on Friday night is going to be tremendous. The top 130 junior athletes in the state all competing. We've got tremendous sponsors and buy-in from that event. Then on Saturday, it's Friday night we're going to take them to Top Golf, which has never been done before. So party of 126 going to Top Golf, and as you know me, I'm gonna beat them all because I can play. And then Saturday, Saturday the game. And right now, the only thing I'm apprehensive and worried about the weather forecast, and it's kind of iffy. But can't wait to get down there and get started for the 75th edition of the Touchstone Energy Bowl.
Hard to believe. Now, I thought you had a buddy in the weather business down at the beach who controlled that for you and made sure it's all good.
Well, he's not God, but he actually talks to him, and it's not looking too good right now. So we're going to hope and pray that we can keep the rain and cold weather away.
What do you think of the roster makeup of the two teams and the talent that'll be on display? We like to say the stars shine brighter at the beach. What do you think of the group of guys that'll be down there?
Well, I mean, right now my biggest concern is the North team has lost 10 players due to injury since the selection process, and the South team has only lost one. So that's a concern of mine. But usually the team that goes through the most controversy and turmoil is the team that wins. So, I don't know how it's going to play out, but Robin Bacon, I sort of feel sorry for because he's had to replace 10 guys in the last 2 weeks, and we're hoping that nobody gets hurt, tonight and tomorrow in the state championship games, and we can have two healthy teams play each other. But right now we're 10 down on the North and 1 down on the South, so that bodes for South advantage. However, we got to wait to see how the state championship games play out and see who passes the physicals and all those kind of things, and hopefully we'll have a great competitive game on December the 10th.
Yeah, let's hope so. We had a good one last year, as I recall. How are you finding, today's kids have changed quite a bit. I guess you could say maybe they're their own thinkers, they're their own men. Maybe we call them enlightened a little bit. My point is, they see they see the college kids opt out of the bowl games. They don't want to play in the bowl games for whatever reason. Have you had any issues like that with players you've selected who've come back to you and said, thank you, but I'm not interested in playing in an all-star game now. I'm ready to just chill out and get ready for college?
Not at all. We've had, when we selected the first 88, we had 100% commitment. And as the injuries have failed, we've had 100% commitment. And, when you look at the 75th anniversary of this game and the fact that it's a bowl-type experience in Myrtle Beach for an entire week, from the hotels to the restaurants and the entertainment to the, so we sort of like to say we stand on our own, and we've had 100% commitment. And that's something that, in today's world, we're very proud of, that we don't have to worry about, and maybe a lot of others do.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that when you became involved and eventually became director, you had some grandiose plans. Want to do a lot of different things, bring in new elements to the game. Where are you in that process at this point? Are you a quarter of the way there, halfway home? Where do you think you are in sort of remaking this game for the so-called modern era?
Well, honestly, I think we're ahead of schedule, and with our what keeps us afloat and keeps us ahead of schedule is our tremendous corporate sponsorship. From Touchstone Energy to BSN to Pound Metal Sports Fundraising. We've got so many people that want to be involved in this game. We're as financially secure as we've ever been, and it leads to prosperity. And the kids that play in this game, when they go back to their schools, they tell everybody, what the experience is like. And I think, word of mouth advertising is better than social media or media in general. So I think that gives us a little bit of an advantage.
Were you at all surprised that the Shrine Bowl came back this year, or did you kind of, being in the coaching business and knowing what's going on in the Carolinas, did you kind of see that they would get back into business for this year?
Yeah, I mean they took some hits like everybody since COVID, but they're back in business in Spartanburg, and we look forward to honoring our kids in the Touchstone Energy Bowl, and then the next week rolling over and supporting the Shrine Bowl.
Sure. David, have questions for Coach?
Yeah, I have one question. You mentioned the injuries that could occur in the state championship. What's the latest that you will add or replace a player with another player? Like, will you keep the rosters at that 88, or if a guy gets hurt tomorrow, can you still replace him on the roster for Monday?
Way up to Tuesday night at midnight, and then once we check in on Tuesday and go through the physicals, and we could have a kid come in not pass the physical, so we would replace, and then once we get to Tuesday night and we start our normal routine on Wednesday morning, then whatever you got, that's what you got. But right now we have 44 in the north and 44 in the south, and if something were to occur between now and then, we would replace, and then if something were to occur on Tuesday during physicals, then we would still replace. But after that, we would play with what we got.
Coach Scott Early with us here for a couple more moments. I know it's a week filled with a lot of different activities, none more fulfilling than the annual shopping trip over to Target for the players. And I'm sure they don't even know right now what that's all about and how it will impact them when they participate with that. I think it's on Thursday, right? Thursday afternoon. I know that's something that everybody looks forward to.
It is. It was started by a former player of mine named Brandon Fry, who played at Virginia Tech, played in the NFL for a while, and it's, transformed itself into Touchstone Energy taking over the entire thing, and that's something that Bob Paulin's really proud of, and we're really looking forward to taking those kids, and they've upped it, to $150 per kid, so we're going to take, 44 underprivileged kids shopping on Thursday. We take them to eat at Golden Corral, and then we take them to Target to shop, and that is that's a special moment for the game. It's a special moment for these 88 seniors that are in this game, and it's their opportunity to give back. So we're very proud of that and looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. That's a great, great afternoon. No question about it. We will let you go. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it very much. Look forward to being down with you guys next week covering it. And, of course, you are, without question, the finest sideline analyst on radio. And we can't wait to hear your sideline breakdown of the game on Saturday.
Well, it'll be a lot of fun if the batteries work.
If the batteries work. We're going to have we're going to give you 12 fresh batteries.
Well, I've been watching like Duracell versus Energizer commercials, and I think Energizer has a leg up on the technology. So if you could stop on your way to the beach and pick up some Energizers, I think we'll be fine.
You got it. I'll stop at a Circle K and get a bunch of Energizers for you.
I appreciate you doing that. You got to get some double A's and some 9 volts, and I think we'll be fine.
You got it, sir. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, Coach Early. Yeah, that's a little inside joke there in the industry because the great folks at Coastal Carolina allow us to use their sideline equipment. And, the battery always goes out on us. And, it's a bit of a battle to change the battery while you're trying to keep an eye on the football game, but Coach Early does a great job with that. So we will supply him with plenty of batteries. Okay, let's hit the final break. The great Chris Deering has come over, David. He's going to join us here as we chop up the high school football season. I don't know. Is Lou going to join us too? Or is he too busy for us? Oh, I think Lou's going to come over too. Scoop is going to join us. So we'll talk about the championship games tomorrow and this football season in general and put a wrap on the scoreboard when we come back to Benedict College.
Show your team pride wherever you go with Founders Federal Credit Union's collegiate debit cards. Get your University of South Carolina and Clemson University debit cards at any Founders office or by calling 1-800-845-1614. Plus, our debit cards are digital wallet ready, so you can pay however you please. Not a member? Visit RelaxJoinFounders.com or one of our 37 convenient locations to see if you qualify for membership. Terms and conditions apply. Founders Federal Credit Union is federally insured by NCUA.
In Columbia, South Carolina, game days are our specialty. Whether you're watching the game from inside the stadium or from the big screen at your favorite local spot, the energy remains the same. Craft the perfect fall Saturday in a city where there is plenty of action on and off the field. From tubing and kayaking to Soda City to rooftop restaurants and plenty barbecue. We're ready when you are. Plan your weekend at ExperienceColumbiaSC.com.
When your day calls for some winning, why not watch your favorite football team at Dave & Buster's? We've got massive HD TVs and hundreds of the hottest new games. Sip from our chef-crafted cocktail menu with exclusive drinks such as the Strawberry Watermelon Margarita or Dangerous Waters. Cheer on the team with Cantina Nachos or wings featuring one of our 12 wing flavors. When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can watch the games and play the games. Locations in Greenville, Columbia, and Myrtle Beach.
Touchstone Energy cooperative members save more on electricity, and members save more on insurance, groceries, healthcare, restaurants, travel, concerts, and sporting events through Co-op Connections. Touchstone Energy is an alliance of the member-owned electric cooperatives, and as a member, the power is yours. Experience the power of co-op membership with Touchstone Energy and find out how much you can save on electricity and a whole lot more at touchstoneenergy.com.
I got to thank our engineer, J.P. Barry, for doing a great job all season long. You are the man, J.P. For those who don't know, J.P. was the starting center. You were the starter, weren't you? The starting center at Spartanburg High School. Yeah, you started your senior year. Yeah, starting center at Spartanburg High School. We're joined by Chris Deering of the Prep Red Zone and the great, the one, the only Lou Bajak of the state. He's known as Scoop, and David Shelton on the line. We're just surrounded here by greatness. Chris, what do you think of the football season? We're wrapping it up. What's your overall view of this 22 campaign?
I mean, it's been a good one so far, Phil. I mean, we got 2 games left tomorrow, but just you look back at the game last night and Beaufort winning over. Who they beat? Powdersville. That was just a great game. Casey Fields, ran wild. The Ferris kid ran wild. The 2 games today, Abbeville comes in. Don't really think a lot of people expected them to win today, but as they said, they did it for the A and took another title back to Abbeville. And Christchurch, the Reader kid was really good tonight for them. And hopefully, I think we get 2 more good games tomorrow. Teams that's been here before in Northwestern. South Florence hadn't been here ever before, so their first appearance. And then you got Dutch Fork. We all know what they've done under Tom Knotts, and then Fort Dorchester getting back to the title game. So I think it's been a great season overall. And like I heard you talking to David earlier, we started this thing back in August, and we were raring to go, and it's wrapping up in less than 48 and 24 hours. So.
Yeah. Lou, the season had some issues. We had some spectator issues. We had some sportsmanship issues, things like that made news. You think we overcame that and ended up with a good year?
Yeah, I think so. It was, yeah, you had the fights and stuff like that, and then here we had the thing with Ridgeview and them having to forfeit their wins and be out of the playoffs. So it's a couple. I mean, you're going to have different things each year in that, but overall, really good year. Some teams, like we said, only 2 teams. Dutch Fork and Buford were the only 2 teams back in the state championship game from the year before, and that's been rare. Usually, you get about 4 or 5, and it's good to see the new faces like Powdersville, like South Florence, and then you have the tradition. You got the Abbeville, the Northwestern, Dutch Fork. So it's a good mix in this championship weekend, and it should be 2 great games tomorrow. And it's been a really good season. A lot of guys that have come out of nowhere, big, and that we'll be talking about for the next few years. Young guys as well.
All right, let's do this. We got Dutch Fork and Fort Dorchester in the noon game tomorrow, David, in 5A championship. You've seen a lot of Fort D, and these 2 guys have seen a lot of Dutch Fork. So, David, you make the case. We've got about 6 minutes. You make the case for Fort Dorchester.
Boy, I would say Fort Dorchester needs Zoltan Osborne to play the best that he has played this year. They're going to have to be able to throw the football some, but the pressure is on their defense. Their defense is good. It's athletic. They're good up front. They'll be able to put some pressure on Appler, but the pressure's on their defense. If their defense plays above average, they've got a shot. But if they don't play well, they will not win this game. But again, I think Zoltan Osborne's been recovering from an injury pretty much all season, but he looked really sharp the last week against Somerville. So I'm thinking that he's probably 100% coming into the game. Their best receiver is out, Trey Ryan. But if Zoltan Osborne has a really good game and their defense can play like they played, I think they can win the game. But that's a big if.
Yeah. Who wants to take on Dutch Fork? Go ahead, Chris.
I think as long as Appler does not make mistakes at the quarterback position and they get the ball to Jarvis Green, I don't see Dutch Fork losing this game tomorrow. That defense has been really good. I mean, even against the nationally ranked St. Francis team that they played back in the midseason, they only gave up 1 touchdown in the second half in that game, and that was on a pick 6. So they're really good. I mean, make no mistake about it. I think with what Jarvis has done on the offensive side of things, I think their defense gets overlooked a little bit. This may be, in this run by Tom Knotts and Dutch Fork, this may be one of their better defenses in that run. So I think this could be a big challenge for Fort Dorchester. Like David said, they could probably have to play their best game, but they could have to play their best game of the season. But I like this Dutch Fork team I have all year. But if they can make Appler make some mistakes, which he's played good since he's come back from injury, they 4D might have a chance, but I would put my money on Dutch Fork right now.
How about you, Lou?
Yeah, I don't think Coach Knotts is gonna have Appler try. I mean, if he throws the ball 10 times, 10, 12, I think he'll get maybe a couple deep ball shots, and he was able to hit those the last few weeks. And I think they're gonna. Last year in the championship game, they got a little cute, but throwing the ball a little bit more than when they should because they had that lead going in the fourth quarter.
And Jarvis was hurt.
And Jarvis was hurt, and I don't think as long as he stays healthy and that defense plays well. Fort played him good last year in lower state championships, so Fort is physical in that, and if they can get a couple turnovers, but I just think Dutch Fork's on a mission, and they're going to get Knotts his 7th state championship.
7. Hard to believe, 7. Let's talk quickly about the nightcaps. Going to wrap it up. South Florence and Northwestern. David, expecting explosion of offense in that game, I would say.
Yeah, I think both teams have really good high school quarterbacks. I think the defenses are underrated. I think they're both, what they did last week, beating Flora and beating Greenville. Their defenses are good, but I really just suspect after some feeling out process, I think that both teams are going to just light it up and, first 1 to 40 wins the game.
Lou?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, Sellers is really good, and I know Northwestern got their good quarterback in Turbo Richard, the running back too. So I think, like we thought last week, whoever gets that stop, and South Florence got that stop and was able to capitalize and beat Florida. I think the same applies here. I think it'll be close to halftime, and then that mid-third quarter, whoever gets maybe a stop there, it could change the momentum of the game.
What do you think, Chris?
I think the scoreboard better be ready tomorrow night.
Yeah.
The Bulls better be working. It's going to be, I think, a high-scoring game. You know, Lou and I were at the AC Florida South Florence game last week, and we kept saying whoever flinches first is probably going to lose the game. Florida ended up flinching first. They had to punt the ball away 2 times in a row, and South Florence went down and scored, and that was the difference in the game. Probably the same thing tomorrow. Whoever has the first, mistake has to punt. I mean, and I'm saying, has to punt. That's hard to believe, but the team that does that first is probably going to lose that game.
Yeah. Guys, thank you very much for coming over. I know it's been a long day for you. We always appreciate you being with us. And enjoy the offseason of football. But I know you're jumping right into basketball, so enjoy that. But thanks for coming over.
Thank you,
Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you, Phil and Dave. Yep.
Okay, Chris Deering and Lou Bajak, appreciate them being with us. David, thank you, my man. As always, it's been a pleasure sharing Friday nights with you. Can't tell you how much we appreciate you, and good luck with everything that you're doing. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow.
Yep, I will be there. I'll be there with bells on.
I want to see you with bells on. By the way, Utah did go ahead and beat Southern Cal, so bye-bye
Yes, they
Trojans.
did.
Enjoy the Holiday Bowl or wherever you're headed.
And Lou
thank
should be
you,
happy
JP.
because that's going to put Ohio State in.
Well, he's already been yakking about that. Yeah, about Ohio State making it into the playoffs. And thanks to all the affiliates. Thank you to Founders Federal for being a part of what we do. And thank you to those players and coaches who put it on the line every Friday night. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Weekdays from 7 to 9 on The Point. It's Kev and Brian in the morning. The news, the traffic 4 times an hour, and your daily forecast. Topics to wake you up, topics to make you smile and laugh. Hope you'll